strike me down, I shall become more powerful than you could possibly imagine.
Welcome everybody, this is Bulldog here, and today I was extremely busy procrastinating, so I decided to settle a bet. We were discussing how much it takes to take a character from Marquee to Relic 8 if you were to do it without hoarding, if you were to buy everything through shipments. Let's say you just blew your load on the latest Galactic Legend and you don't have anything saved. Maybe you're a brand new character or brand new player to the game and you don't have a bunch saved up. How much would it cost if you were actually buying everything through shipments? Now we know hoarding is the way to go, but if you don't have a hoard, how much does it cost? I'm not going to tell you what my prediction was on this until we get to the end. But it's let's just say it's going to be depressing. And at the end of this, I'm gonna have to rant about how much this costs. I'm gonna have to rant about it. But forget my rant. You guys want to know how much it costs? I'm sure that's why you clicked on the video. Let's go in. Let's break things down. First thing you've got to do, you've got to go to these packs and you've got a 7-star. The 7-star this character. You can't hoard for this. I mean, you can hoard up the crystals, but you can't hoard for this. On average, you're gonna get 8.6 shards per pack. And keep in mind, that average is inflated by the 145, 230, 330 shard drops that most people aren't going to get. Yeah, you could get lucky. You could pull 330 on the first pull and you could get this character for 10 bucks. Probably not going to happen. The average person is going to spend $275 just to get to them to 7 stars. Got to spend that on crystals, just spending on the crystals alone. But that's not all. That's not all, guys. Next, we have to gear up the character. We're looking at Echo here because this is the latest Marquee character. And he uses 250 Carbonis, 500 Chirotechs, 150 stun guns, 120 med packs, 100 droid collars, and on and on and on. I just added up the total value of the what I consider high value gear that character or that players are likely to run out of at some point if they are actively spending it. So I didn't count. Like, okay, so I've got the Carbonis. Those are the MK3 Carbonis. I didn't count the MK4. Everybody's got those. Unless you're literally a brand new player, then maybe you won't. But if you've been around for any amount of time, you're gonna have a lot of this gear. I did not include that gear. Just the gear that I felt like people might be running out of. $345 to go from gear 1 to gear 13. But oh wait, we're not done at gear 13 anymore, are we? We have to go on to relics. You've got your Zen Beetles, you've got all of these new relics. And now let's be honest, guys, most of you are not going to buy this from shipments. They're not very efficient to buy from shipments. I completely understand that. You cannot even get the arrow magnifiers from shipments. Those you have to, they were from the raid, now from Conquest as well. So I did not factor those in. So you could say I'm actually shortchanging us a little bit because we have to use, what, $100 to buy those from packs to get enough for a single Relic 8. So I gave us a little bit of a break there. But again, if you are buying these straight out, going to shipments, buying this right away, $290. $290. So what is that up to? The shards, the gear, the relic, $910. Just short of $1,000. That is absolutely insane. That number, based on the discussion we had, I believe it was on Discord, is shocking to a lot of people. When we were discussing this and taking guesses, a lot of people were saying $400, $500, $600. My guess, I lost the bet, guys. I lost the bet. My guess was actually $1,000. I was betting that it took over $1,000. That's what I set out to prove. So I fell. It was a little bit short. It wasn't quite 1,000, at least with Echo. And again, I honestly probably could have pushed it over 1,000 if I had included maybe a little bit more gear that maybe could have pushed some extra gear into the high value categories, or maybe like medium value, included a little bit more gear. The $100 for the Relic 8 pack. Could have stuck that in there. That would have bumped us up. Now there are some other pieces in there, so it wouldn't have been just pure $100 on. But I could have maybe pushed things and got it over $100 or over 1,000, not over 100, over $1,000. But I had to be honest. This is still insane. $910. For those of you who are on my live stream, that deserves we've We've got to say this in a squirrel voice. We got to break out Darth Squirrel.
$910.
Sorry, I just have fun doing that. Love you, Darth Squirrel. And this is a problem with that I have with the game. Now, obviously, the game is priced to sell. They're going to price things for whatever generates the maximum amount of revenue for them. And I can't see those numbers. I can't criticize them and say that they could be making more if they price things less or whatever. But as a player who, okay, lately I kind of became a whale because of YouTube, but generally, well, and then I stopped becoming a whale, but that's a whole different discussion. But generally, I would have considered myself like a dolphin status for your light to even medium range spenders. This has kind of become a problem. I remember the very first character I whaled on. Actually, it might even be the very first time I spent money on the game at all. I can't remember that far back. That was like 5 years ago. But I remember the character. It was B2, and I remember how much money it cost me. It cost me $250 in shards and gear to max the character. That was, and I can't remember how lucky I got with my pulls. That was back when, were they Erodium packs? What were those? There were different types of packs, but anyways, and it was only like what gear, was it gear 9, gear 10, gear 11? I think like gear 10 or something like that. I don't know. Maybe some of you can remember back where the max gear level was when B2 was first released. It wasn't very much, but for $250 you could completely max a character, a brand new character, and that's all kind of faded away as we've increased all of these. Okay, so we've increased our gear, we've added the relics, all of this. And CG will say, yes, we've increased these, but we've compensated you guys with more crystals. And that is absolutely true. We've got more sources of earning gear. We've got more sources of earning crystals and all of that. But the problem is the value of the crystals that we buy has decreased because everything has increased. It's the same amount of money to buy the same amount of crystals as it was when this game first started. And I kind of have a problem with that because you just don't get value by spending money on the game anymore. You just don't get value. You have to spend so much money. And one of the key things that I think CG has kind of created this is that they have created this environment where it is smart to hoard. Hoarding is the way to go because it can minimize this cost. You don't want to spend $910 on this character. So if you want a marquee character when it comes out, and again, this is a marquee character, guys. This is not a galactic legend. This isn't even a hero's journey or legendary or anything like that. This is a single marquee character. But if you want, you have to hoard up gear. You have to hoard up crystals if you don't want to spend a bunch of money on this game or get it anytime relatively soon. And yes, the crystal price of this goes down. If instead of buying it for shipments, you're buying energy and farming it that way, it absolutely does go down, but it's still ridiculously expensive and people have to hoard. And I personally don't like that CG has created an environment where we are scared to spend our resources. We are scared to spend our resources because we don't know what's coming next. We have to hoard it and spend it all at once. And I don't know. I'm not the biggest fan of it. Obviously, there's nothing I can do. It's how the game is. Yeah, suck it up, Bulldog. I know I'm gonna get people complaining in the comments because yeah, that's just how it is. Don't spend the money if you don't want it, all of that, and that's all true. Don't spend the money if you don't want it. You don't have to spend anything. You can do this free to play and wait 6 months or 9 months or however long it's going to take, because I mean this is a single marquee character and there's 4 of these marquees that just released. I'm not spending $3,000, $3,500, $4,000 on these characters. Very, very few people are going to do that, or even a fraction of that. And I don't know. I just feel like it's really hurt the game economy because CG hasn't adjusted. They haven't limited hoarding or discouraged hoarding, and they haven't increased the value that you get with your dollar. Your dollar just doesn't go as far in the game as it did even a year ago or 3 years ago or 5 years ago. And that's kind of, as much as I love this game, I'm not trying to, I'm not saying I'm retiring or I'm quitting because of this, or I'm kind of throwing a tantrum, but that's not what it's supposed to be intended as. But anyways, and I know this isn't a big deal. I just thought it was, I shouldn't say it's not a big deal, but it's not it's not worth making this huge video over. Some might say. I know it's gonna be a comment. Oh, you should have just sent this in a tweet on Twitter, and you didn't even make a 13-minute video for the for this. But hey, that's what I do. I put things on YouTube and sometimes rant about them. So a lot of people that I shared this with found it interesting, so I thought I'd put it in a video, and hopefully you guys find it interesting as well. So I'll stop ranting. I'll get back to enjoying the game, because I do enjoy the game, and I don't want to get too distracted by this type of thing. But it does still boggle my mind that this is what it's come down to. This is the cost to max out a brand new character. So thank you guys. I'll see you on YouTube. I'm back to YouTube for my live stream. So I'll see you guys on my live streams. Catch you on some videos. Thank you so much. Love all the support. See you all around. Have a great holiday weekends.